Hey Buns, today I'm going to talk about patch 5.55 that released this week. This is the final story patch that we will get before Endwalker. So yeah, this is the big last hurrah of Shadowbringers, I suppose. And there's a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about the new zone that we got called Zadnor. That's the new zone after Bozja, related to the Bozjan Southern Front. And then I'm going to talk about some not spoilery things, different new things that have been added, like mounts, minions, and that kind of fun stuff. And then I will give a big giant spoiler warning to talk about the new main story quest that we got in this patch. But don't worry, I will give you sufficient warning before we get to that point. But yeah, the big enchilada of this patch is definitely Zadnor. Zandalar. I heard somebody call it Zandalar. Zoolander. It's a huge failed area, and it's where you can increase your resistance rank cap up to rank 25, and you can get the stuff you need to completely upgrade and finish your Shadowbringer's Relic weapon. There is also the large-scale battle content inside it, the Dalriada, for up to 48 players, but if you're like me, you will be extremely unlucky and have to do it with 7 players. I'll talk about more about that experience in a moment, but first I want to quickly explain, how do you unlock it? How do you get to it? Well, to unlock Zadnor, you have to first unlock the zone that comes before it, which is the Bozjan Southern Front. And to unlock the Bozjan Southern Front, you have to complete the Return to Ivalice Alliance raids from Stormblood. So you've got a lot to do. You got a lot of story and raids to do. To start with that whole adventure, you need to go to Kugane and pick up the quest Dramatis Personae from Keaton. He's standing near the market board area. You will also need to complete the level 70 Shadowbringers main story quest, Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty. On top of that, you also need to do the first part of the Save the Queen story, which starts with Where Eagles Nest from Marsak in Gongos, and the first part of the Relic story, which starts with Fire in the Forge from Geralt in Gongos. So once you've unlocked the Bozjan Southern Front, you just go through that. You can progress through the Relic story, you progress through the Save the Queen story, and you will eventually unlock Zadnor from the quest A New Playing Field from Marsak in Gongos. By that point, you're going to know your way around Gongos. You're not going to need my help to figure out how to get to Zadnor. So actually, this video came out a little later than I wanted to in the week, because I was like, well, I could just do a quick first impressions, but I haven't had a chance to do all of Zadnor yet and finish all of the Dalriada yet. I want to do the Dalriada. I want to finish it all completely before I do my video. Unfortunately for me, I got into an instance where there was a ton of people in the instance, right? But everybody was wiping on Belias, I think is his name, like one of the harder critical engagements. So like the vast majority of people that were in the instance were doing that. When I queued for the Dalriada, I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a job I never play. I will play Warrior, which I know nothing about. It'll be fun just to switch things up a little bit. Little did I know I would be in the Dalriada, a 48 player raid with only 7 people. It could have gone worse. Definitely could have gone better. Definitely. There were halls filled with lightning, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't go down that hall. And there was one guy who knew what was going on, and he's like, you gotta. We don't have enough people to turn off the switch on the pressure plates. And I'm like, okay, so we all are like running through this hall trying to heal through the damage. We're getting paralyzed, and like, it's so bad. I was like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like the strat. But we actually got through that part, but we ended up wiping to the timer. We ran out of time. We got booted. So I have heard some people say it's so easy with only 8 people. And I mean, I guess these people are just a lot better at the game. Overall, I did do it again later with like a normal group, and I like it a lot. In general, what I can say about Zadnor is that it feels like a copy pasta of Bozjan Southern Front. Like, if you liked Bozjan Southern Front, you're probably really gonna like Zadnor too. Like, I mean, I think that the aesthetics are prettier. I think Zadnor is a more beautiful zone. And the Dalriada is more fun, I think, than Castrum. It's more interesting. The final boss is definitely more crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like same song, second verse. So if you had problems with Bozja, you're probably gonna have problems. I will tell you, I've heard the criticisms of Zadnor being that people are ranking up too fast. Like, it doesn't feel like much of a grind. It's real easy and quick to rank up. It's pretty easy to get the stuff that you need for your relic. So some people have been complaining that, you know, what are we supposed to do with all of our time? I thought this was supposed to be the grindy zone to give us lots to focus on and work on while we wait for Endwalker to release in November. So, I mean, I understand those complaints. I think that if you play multiple jobs, you'll have a better time. Like if you play multiple jobs and you want to get several relics, obviously that's going to keep you busy for longer. And if you have a lot of jobs to level up, it's a fantastic place to level from 70 to 80. You get very good XP there. So those are goals that can keep you occupied for much longer too. I do have some complaints about the gear that they've added to Zadnor. However, well, it's eye level 525, which, you know, might be an upgrade, I guess, if you're not doing Savage, if you haven't upgraded your Tombstone gear yet. But it doesn't have any haste. It doesn't have bonus effects that would help you out in Zadnor. Zadnor does sink your item level down. So what you would really need there is something with a special bonus effect, like the haste that we'd seen in some previous gear, to help you inside that instance. But we don't have haste or bonus effects on any of this new gear, and so it had me kind of scratching my head wondering what the purpose of this gear was. I mean, it's gear that it costs a fair bit of currency that you earn from grinding in Zadnor. You would think that it might have some benefit to you inside Zadnor, but it really doesn't. Oh, the relics. So I wanted to talk about them, my opinions on some of them a little bit. I've seen them, and I think the effect is cool, actually. I know some people haven't liked it, but I feel like some people's weapons are light years better than other people's weapons. I'm not going to like point out which ones I think are bad because I don't want people to feel bad about their relic, but I will say, okay, I don't like the warrior one. All right, I don't like I will say that one. I really don't like the warrior one. I feel like warriors haven't had a super cool axe in a while that everybody liked. But the paladin one looks so good, and the white mage one looks so freaking good. Like, some of them are just mind-blowingly incredible, and others are just kind of like, you know. So I definitely see why there has been a little bit of a mixed reaction. One thing that has been cool, the red mage one has like it's like an ethereal doodad. I don't even know what that thing's called, but it's like, you know, that little floaty thing. It's non-physical, and that's really neat. Other fun new things have been added, of course, like the new electric guitar. You might see that in the background. I actually got one the same day that the patch was released, so maybe music streams and videos soon. I don't know. It will be a while before I can play it competently. But anyway, you can use the electric guitar in the game. All you have to do is be a level 30 bard at least, and I think there's a quest you might need to do in Old Gridania from Simpkin is the guy who gives the quest. If you're an Aura player, you're already a step ahead because you'll already be good on scales. 3 new mounts have been added, one of them being the What Raptor.
What? Like, what?
AKA the Deinonychus, and that drops from the final chest in the Dalriada in Zadnor. That's a rare drop, by the way, and you can sell it on the market board. Right now, it's going for like 9 mil on my server. The Al-Iklil, that is Fran's motorbike from FF12 that everybody was really looking forward to, has been added, but unfortunately, I regret to inform you that it comes from collecting every single field note in Zadnor and in the Bozjan Southern Front. All of them. Yes, all of them. I am devastated by the amount of work I'm gonna have to put in to get this motorbike, but I guess it gives me something to do while I wait for Endwalker. And a big card looking mount has been added that comes from collecting every single triple triad card. So I guess to get that card, you'll need to be a triple tri hard. 2 new emotes have been added. One you get just from doing the main story quest. I don't know if I should, if I show you it, it's a spoiler. No, I don't think so. It's and the other one is ring hands, which is like I don't know what the purpose of that emote is. It drops from Zadnor lot boxes. It is 80k on my server now. The new hairstyle is modern aesthetics both ways, and that's a very rare drop from the Zadnor lot boxes. It's about 2 million gil on my server right now. For easy reference for all of the things that I've just mentioned, plus some other things like where to get the new triple triad cards or question rolls, all the field notes, I'm going to put a link in the description box below to a very handy dandy post on the Final Fantasy 14 subreddit by Mags02. Thank you so much for compiling all this data into one spot. I will definitely be using it, as it looks like I'm going to need every field note. I wish it weren't the case, but I gotta get that motorbike. I just hope that by the time I'm done with it, Zadnor doesn't become a Zadbor. Okay, now I'm moving into the spoiler section. The spoiler section. It's time to talk about the main story spoilers. Brace yourself. We're moving to the spoiler zone. So this is actually part 2, the second part of the main story quest that we got with the previous patch 5.5. And this is what sets the stage for the upcoming expansion. Having seen the CGI trailer, it was obviously a little bit spoiled for us, like how the reunion with Alice and Alphino's dad was gonna go. Like, we all knew that this was not gonna be pretty. Like, he was gonna show up and just be a dick, which is exactly what happened. He actually had some, I think, interesting points to make about the costs of war. Maybe we should think twice about our solution to every problem being marching off to war. Like, I think there might be some merit in that argument. And it's an argument that it's clear that Alphino has some, he leans that way, I feel. And so, like, immediately after, you go and you meet Arenvald, who has been paralyzed. Apparently he's in a wheelchair now, and he said, you know, the chirurgeons told him that he may never walk again. And to have that scene happen immediately after we hear this speech from Farchino. I'm gonna call him Farchino. Farchino. Alfie's dad. It was clear that Alphino was very conflicted, and so to see Arenvald say, you know, I want you to carry on my fight. And Alphino, especially after this experience with his dad, questioning whether this fight is really worth it at all. Like, is anything worth this suffering, the pain, the sacrifices? And he says, I'm beginning to wonder if I chose the right path. And maybe I'm not the person that you think I am. It's also perfect because if you think about the enemies that we're facing, that's, you know, Xenos and Daniel representing the Zodiac type of thing, like, you know, the unchecked nihilistic aggression. And then on the other side, we have Charlian, which is nihilistic in a different way, like the nihilistic pacifism. Like, we don't care what's happening, but we're going to choose the extreme opposite. So I think to have these two forces coming up against each other, like in contrast as narrative set points for the expansion, I think it's going to give us a lot of room to move around in that gray area. And that gray area is what we do explore in that scene with Arenvald and Alphino. And another thing was for Dola actually being the one saying to Arenvald, you've got a pretty narrow idea of what it means to be a hero. You think they're all forged in the fires of battle, that it's all about being brave and killing villains. And that's so on point, I think, for that gray area I was talking about, somewhere between like the pure aggression and the pure pacifism. Like, where can you find your place as a hero that you could morally justify? Is there another path for you? Is there another way that you could be a hero without constantly marching off to war? Xenos also talks about the Dreamer, who definitely, to me, sounded like another character. I don't know who the Dreamer is. Is the Dreamer actually the moon? Is the moon an entity? The only real hint that I have on this is actually from the FanFest message board, where Square Enix staff they all like gave their messages about their favorite characters, and Natsuko Ishikawa, the writer for Shadowbringers and Endwalker, she said, let me pull it up, for her favorite NPC, she wrote, if I went out of my way to pick characters that haven't been fully revealed yet, I'd say Fandaniel and his ... Like, obviously that was censored because it was spoilery. And Is it his dreamer? Is it his dreamer? Is it some other thing? I don't even know what. We also saw that weird apparition of the woman who was glowing and said, "Hear me." And her first word being "hear," like you immediately think Iðunn, right? But she doesn't say hear, feel, think. She says just "hear me." But I think the "hear" being the first word intentionally is just to draw that connection to Iðunn. Like this is, I think, very likely than not, Idunn's heart. Like that's the thing that makes the most sense to me. We do see this character in the artwork for Endwalker sitting at the very top of like the little pyramid. So let me know what your plans are as you wait for the expansion to finally arrive, like what goals you've set for yourself in this time. If you like Zadnor, have you unlocked Bozja or Zadnor at all? Let me know in the comments section down below. Actually, if you're hearing me at this point, I hope you have unlocked Bozja and you're like already in the end game, because I spoiled some things here with my chat. This is a spoilery part. In any case, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow Warriors of Light. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.